And
This meeting is being recorded.
And I'm going to mute everybody out right now, so you will have to unmute yourselves. Where's how is this not working? There we go. No. And we're ready. All right, Patty, you just need to unmute yourself and we're ready.
Okay, Nikki, didn't you have some announcements you wanted to make?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just wanted to, number one, I really wanted to wish everybody super happy holidays. This will be our last call until January, so we won't be meeting again. So I just want to make sure that you know from the whole HEAT team, all of the HEAT NMDs really want to give you a warm, happy holidays, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah or no particular holidays. You're in that season of people hustling and bustling and connecting. And we just want to really make sure that you know you're all loved, that we appreciate all that you do. We know that all of us as a team impact more together than we do on our own. And that's really what our community is all about. And our first call of the year, and for those of you that know her are going to get super excited. So January 3rd, we have none other than Catherine Lee, nobody that has bigger heart, bigger business, holds the container of business with heart. So that's our HEAT call on Tuesday night. But on January 2nd, we're starting a new tradition. So this will be number one of the new traditions. Monday nights at 5:30 p.m. we do something called JP University. And Patty and Kirsten have stepped up and they are doing the first Monday of every month. Is that right, Patty? They are doing, that's what I
Kirsten's organizing the Mindset Monday, and okay. Kirsten and I are presenting the first Monday.
Okay, so Kirsten is going to be taking that on. Thank you, Kirsten. I didn't quite understand that, but the first Monday of every month of our JP University is going to be Mindset Monday. The rest will be skill building. So Kirsten, and again, big-hearted Kirsten, of course she would be taking this on. And for the first one to have Patty join her, I think it's going to be just phenomenal. So January 2nd, JP University, Mindset, and January 3rd with none other than a gazillion club, heartfelt, amazing woman, Catherine Lee. And so I'm going to turn this over to you, Patty.
Awesome. Thank you, Nikki. I am so excited, you guys. I was like, I wanted to touch base with everybody and get you on here because I think this is going to be one of the most powerful calls we could use to get focused and finish the new year strong and start the new year with some real focus. And I got to meet this beautiful Ilona at Q School. And then we are a part with Caprice of a group called QNMD. And so we have an accountability group that we jump on every Thursday. And we do it. It's been a really, really neat thing. And we have an accountability group in that. And when I was talking to her in one of our breakouts and she said her strength was follow-up, I was like, oh my goodness, we need to get you on one of our trainings. So she said, absolutely. And so she's going to be training on follow-up. So go ahead and I'm going to let her tell you about her. She lives in British Columbia, but she has a neat story. So I'll let her take it from here.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Perfect.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor and I'm so excited because, you know, when you're in this business, you get to know your strengths and you also get to know your weaknesses and where you need to work on things and where you want to change. And for me, for some reason, I'm just a follow-up queen and I can proudly stand and say that because I really enjoy having conversations and not broken conversations where you start a conversation and then you never continue it. That to me is like, what was the point? So I'm really excited to share some tips with you, some verbiage. My name is Ilona from Kelowna, British Columbia, up in Canada. I know it rhymes. It's kind of silly. Ilona from Kelowna. That's how my stage name's going to be when I step up on stage as an NMD. I won't even have a last name, just Ilona from Kelowna. And, you know, so yes, I've been in the business for 7.5 years. And just going at my own pace, have done a lot of personal growth. I'm sure most of you guys know as well that this business is all about bringing out your true self and being confident and sharing what you have to share with love and authenticity. So with that, what I will do is I just want to be mindful of all of your time. I know you guys, Christmas is coming up, the holiday seasons are here. And so what I'll do is I'll share my screen and I have a little presentation for you. And then at the end, you can definitely ask me questions because there might be some questions that come up or you might even agree. Can you see my screen okay? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to hit present here. Okay, so did it work? No, it says it's paused. I wonder why. Resume share. Let me see if I can. I love technology. It is so good when it works. So when it doesn't, no, it's not going to work for me. Okay, let me, what we will do is we'll work around this. Hold on, let's redo it all over again. Sorry, guys. Let's see if it will pop up now. Nope, doesn't like me today. Well,
We had this the other night with somebody sharing. And
You
they
did?
figured out it was on their end, but they did figure out what was going on. It froze.
Okay.
It completely froze. So you might try one
Okay.
more time, and maybe if you can see it, you'll work off of it, and we'll.
That's what we'll have to do. Hold on, let me try it one more time.
Don't worry about a few minutes here to get settled.
Yeah, that is so strange. Okay, let me see. Okay, I have it pulled back up. So let's see if Zoom will let me share. That is really odd. I'm gonna have to figure out why it's doing that. Can you guys see it this way?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's when I push present and it got bigger, that's when it didn't work. So I'll just leave it on this screen. There, that should be okay. Can you read it okay?
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm sure you guys have heard the fortune is in the follow-up. It's a saying. And in the beginning, I was like, what are they talking about? The fortune's in the follow-up. I see follow-up as an act of love. Follow-up is not annoying. It's not bugging your friends. I've heard that many times. And some myths about follow-ups, I'm sure you have heard and I have heard, and I've even thought this myself, is I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to be annoying. I don't want them to think I'm only interested in the sale. And they will message me back if they're interested. I'm sure some of you have even thought about those things, but now it's time to set a time for follow-up and be professional. I think, you have the funnel system where you start out by creating curiosity and then you send some information and then follow-up is right in there. And most people stop. They think, okay, I've gotten someone that's interested. I'm going to send them information. And then, they're like, I'm done now. No, that's when the work begins. That's when the follow-up begins. People are busy and it's really good in the very beginning to set up a time when you're going to follow up with your prospects. So for example, if you send someone a video, I always say, hey, Jen, check this out and I will touch base with you again. And I usually give them 2 days. If it's maybe a Friday, then I'll wait until Monday morning, right? I'll touch base with you on Monday, enjoy your weekend, have fun looking over the info that I sent you. And that way you're setting an appointment just like you would in a doctor's office. Now, here's some verbiage I thought would be helpful. So some verbiage to follow up after an event. I know a lot of you guys, there's lots of great events that we all host in our teams and within even Juice Plus, US and Canada, and you've invited to an event. So this will be your follow-up one, follow-up to an invite. I always use Jen, that's just the word I use. And remember, this verbiage is how I speak. If you don't use, hey, you might want to say hi or good morning or good afternoon in your own words. But in this example, I would just say, hey, Jen, and make it personal. Hope you had a nice weekend. We sure did. I'm loving this lovely weather. Wanted to follow back around with you on the event I invited you to. It's coming up so quickly. I know you have kids that can get some help with getting more fruits and veggies into their diets. You will love all the info and tips and tricks. Are you able to hop on Thursday night at 8 p.m.? Okay, so this is after you've already invited and you're just touching base. Follow-up number 2 would be the day of the event. So, hey, Jen, happy Thursday. So excited for tonight's event. Curious if you're able to make it on. I haven't heard back from you at all. Let me know. I would love to see your pretty face. Again, this is my verbiage, right? You can change this up. And some of you might think, well, you've already invited. She didn't respond. Okay, now you've sent this message. You're done. No, there's going to be follow-up number 3. If the answer is no, or she can't make it, then here's the next day follow-ups. Hey, you, You missed an event last night that was so informative. I learned tons. I do have the recording. If I sent it over to you, will you take the time to watch it? If you're not a video watcher, we can always connect over the phone too. Let me know what works best for you. I really think these could help your kids so much. I'm so blessed to have my kids have been eating these for 12 years. Okay, so you're just reminding her she didn't make it on, no big deal, but you have the recording. Maybe she's interested in the recording, and let her tell you yes or no. So if there's still no response, this is where your stinking thinking comes in. This is where some of you, maybe not all of you, but this has happened to me. You know, you start thinking she's not interested. She doesn't know how to tell me no. My product or event sucks. I knew I couldn't do this business. No one wants to come to this event. So we need to stop that. That needs to stop, because that is not what's happening. She never told you any of those things. And you are just assuming this is what's happening, but you don't actually know. So guess what you do next? You follow up. So this will be follow-up number 4. Hey, Jen. Wow, how is it June already? Are you kids excited to be out of school? Mine are counting down the days. Got any plans for the summer break? So do you notice how here now I'm switching to just something general? I know she has kids. Maybe I've been snooping her on Facebook and I can tell that, you know, her kids are out for a break. Guess what usually happens when you switch from Juice Plus to just being a friend? They usually respond. So the next follow-up, yes, there's one more until you get a yes or no, or not right now. So usually about a week later. That is the whole point, you guys, is you've invited. Now it's you want to get a yes, no. You don't want to just leave them hanging. I think that's the weirdest thing, when you're just wondering, she's wondering, are you going to follow up? Are you going to follow up? It's just this awkward time. And I love to get a yes, no, or not right now. So after she responded to my non-JP message, I said, that's cool. You guys are doing a lot of camping, us too, and having pool parties. Hey, I wanted to follow back around with you about our chat last month about the kids and getting you over some info about the Kids Choose. Is this a good time to reconnect about their health? If not, that's cool. Just let me know where you're at. So I'm allowing her to revisit it and allowing her an out. If she says, yes, oh my God, I keep meaning to message you back. Thanks for touching base. Can you send me over your website? I'm ready to order. Or she may say, I need a bit more info, or will you tell, or will tell you why she isn't responding. Maybe something major happened in her life. I always give them grace because you never know what people are going through. So this is just not about you. Don't take it personally. I've had personally someone that I was messaging for a while and no response and no response. Finally, she said, I'm so sorry, Ilona. I had to pack up my kids and move out. My husband and I separated and we're staying in a hotel. So all the stinking thinking went away because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Of course, you're not going to be worried about the event and the recording, right? She has so many other things going on. So always think positive, because how you approach a message, even if it's just a Facebook message, it reflects in how they respond, which is really crazy, but it really does. So maybe, you know, my response would then be to her, sounds great. Would you like me to send you over the recording of the event or my website along with a video? Because everyone learns and receives information differently. So I've been realizing now that me personally, I will not watch a video ever. I will probably not look over research or look over a website. My personality is one-on-one. And if someone recommends something, I will jump on it because I trust and love them. And that's what we want to create with our follow-up and, you know, with the prospects that we have. So now I just ask, what kind of information would you like? How would you like it? And if you have boards, you guys, if you're not using your board's landing pages, that is something you need to look into. I've created a landing page, and on the landing page, I have a boards just for Juice Plus capsules. I have a video, I have some reading, I have my own story, and then I have my Healthy Starts link and a little video about the Healthy Starts, and also click here to become an affiliate. So it's all in one board, and I send that to them. That way, you know, if they're not a reader, they're not a video watcher, they can just go and order it right away. If they're like a person like me who's very action driven, I would just go order it and it'd be done. So I'm giving her an option of how she would like to receive info, because it's been so long. She's like, okay, I remember these gummies, but I didn't even get on the event and I don't even know what this is. So this way I can give her some information however she'd like. So let's just say there was no response. Okay, she didn't say, yes, I'd like info. I would wait a month or so. And this is what I would say. Hi, Jen. I hope everything is okay with you. I know I have sent you a few messages and no response. Are you getting my messages? If you sent a Facebook message, then you can see, you know, in the little corner, if they have seen it, their face pops up. And if they haven't, it almost stays in like a little check mark. So you can definitely check there. If you've seen that she has seen your messages, but didn't respond, what I would say then is, I noticed you saw my message, but haven't responded. Is everything okay? I've had someone say, yes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't have Messenger on my phone anymore. And my kids keep taking my iPad and I keep missing messages. So it's nothing against you. And it's not intentional that this person is not responding to you. So take yourself out of the equation. This is about this person that you're trying to help. And it's not about you. And maybe some of you guys don't think this way. I'm excited to hear at the end how you feel, but this is how I was feeling. Now, follow-up also applies to business prospects. So you treat them the exact same way. You've invited them to take a look at your opportunity and no response. So maybe you invited them to an event where you're sharing your opportunity, or maybe you've sent them something like this. Hey, Jen, I hope 2022 is treating you well so far. Long time no talk. I just saw that you lost your job at the gym. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm not sure what you're doing for work right now, but if you're looking for work, I wanted to share something I do that I think would be right up your alley. I partnered up with an online health and wellness company called Juice Plus 7 years ago. I love their simple line of quality whole fruit products. If I sent you over some info, would you take a look at it to see if it's a good fit for you? Then you follow the follow-up training I just went over, right? And again, if she says no, then that's totally a different story. But if she says yes, and you start sending info, then the follow-up has to keep continuing. And sometimes the follow-up, you guys, takes years. I'm sure with your experiences, you've seen that. Some people are action, they go and they order right away, or they sign up right away. Other people need to research. They need to watch you. They need to watch what you do, not what you say. So follow-up is actually really, really fun. Now, here are some tools for successful follow-up. I talked about boards a little bit. You can create your own board. I have one called Hot Leads, which is under my own boards. And I have different folder for each hot lead. So I have a Tower Garden one, I have a Juice Plus one, I have a business prospect one. I put all the names in there and when I need to follow up. So it's just a quick way if I'm traveling or if I'm out and about, it's all right there on my boards. You can also use a Google Sheet tracker. I know that this was recommended to me during our QNMD NMD chat. And this has been really, really helpful where you can search the date, you can search the follow-up. I think someone needs to be just muted. Thank you. So the Google tracker is really easy because you can keep that on your phone. You can update it on the run. You don't have to keep a binder with you. It's accessible anywhere and you can search. So you can, if you're like, okay, I'm going to speak to all the people I shared the business with, you can search just that column and reach out the same message to everybody about the business and do your follow-up. Now, TeamZ is another one. It's $19 US per month. You can try it for free for 30 days. It's like my virtual assistant. You can import all of your customers, your team members over from your Juice Plus virtual office. And you can schedule your follow-ups and they pop up automatically for you. So, if you haven't talked to someone in a month, you can set it up that it follows up every month. It sends you a little pop-up or maybe longer, depending on, the conversation you've been having. Then you can go back to good old pen and paper. I used to do a binder and I had different dividers for prospects, customers, business partners, and it would move through the dividers, right? You would have, okay, I have a prospect, then that prospect moves to the next divider to a customer. Maybe then they join your business and it gets to business partner and they kind of go through. Sometimes I have all my canceled ones in there. The only problem with that is you have to carry it with you. So if you're traveling or you're working abroad, that's not the best idea. But those are just some ones that are free and some obviously you can also upgrade and pay for TeamZ. Maybe you have your own follow-up that's working. I would love to hear what that is. These are just some that I've been using and I'm still trying to figure out which one's my favorite, but definitely TeamZ. I like having all of my customers' notes in there. So I can say January 1st followed up, January 21st invited to an event. So I can kind of see it note by note and it pops up for me every day. And I can have that on my phone anywhere I am. So with that, that is my presentation. So I will stop my share and I would love to hear from you guys. What were some of your fears, or what are some of the struggles you're having with follow-up? Don't be shy. Anything that I missed? Or was that totally like out there? Like, I never thought that about follow-up. Tell me I'm not alone.
Ilona, I thought it was fantastic, and I loved all the options. I love the idea that you're doing it in board, your follow-up. I never thought about making a file for that because I'm not a paper person, so I think that's a brilliant idea. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, boards has been really helpful because we're using it so much, right? So it's nice to have it on your phone or even on your desktop where it just opens up. Yeah, really cool.
I have a question about you doing follow-up on your boards. First of all, never even occurred to me those different ideas, like how we else can use boards besides just tools or whatever or graphics that we need to send to people, but actually use it for our own systems in terms of tracking. So if you have one that's called follow-up or whatever, and you have it, do you put your Google Sheet in? Like, what do you have in boards that allows you to see it and follow up? Like, is it a notes page or how does it work?
Yeah, I will show you. Okay, so here's my boards. I just called it Ilona's boards. And I have a hot leads folder. So in here, I have JP leads, Tower Garden leads, business leads, and even shakes. So let's say we go to Tower Garden lead. All I was doing is kind of just seeing, right, how many people I've shared with. So I would put like Kevin Davis text 2 towers once they move, just like little notes. Because then I can go through here and then see here, I put like when they message me back, no money in September 2022, next door app. I use that a lot. I went to Not Now, partner has one, right? So just like a quick, it's almost like a quick, if you had like a little sticky, like a yellow, what are these things called? Sticky note, is kind of how I use it. Are you guys using boards for to send out information at all?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. So my landing pages are probably my favorite thing because that hits everybody's personalities, right? So yeah, but that's how I'm using boards. Just a quick little note. So if I'm like, okay, I haven't talked to anybody about the business, who's ready to maybe share with, and then I look, right? Oh, Eva, she said no. I shared it September 8th. What has happened since then? Have I followed up with her, right? Here's my own follow-up training. What did she say? There was a couple no's. She wants to connect over the phone. Oh, this one actually joined my team, so I'm going to have to say yes. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So it's just something else that might work for the non-paper and pen people. Oh, bless you. Does that help?
Yeah, that was great. It just gave me an idea of there's all different ways that we could do it on our own, whatever works for somebody, but that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say everything that you covered is all my fears. Okay. Or, and I'm like, everything that a person could think about, like, oh, I don't want to be a bother and things of that nature. But I'm going to share this story with you. So the person that introduced me to the garden, this was 3 years ago.
Wow.
I knew it was a wonderful concept. And I said, wow, this is awesome. But I also saw her over a period of time also share her garden stuff and things of that nature. So that was really where it was okay, I'm going to revisit this. And it seemed that over a period of time, of course, with COVID and things of that nature, quality food is very scarce. And our children, which is our building block of our communities, those children are not getting the nutrients and things. They're suffering with attention deficit, all of these pills, and just too much. So that is what made me come back to this thought of a garden. I don't have it up yet. I've had it for 3 days, but I want to make sure where I place it has the right, I want it to be my showpiece.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. And thanks for sharing. And yeah, like you said, it takes 3 years, or it took 3 years, right? And you know
Yes.
what sometimes happens if we drop the ball on follow-up and we allow all those negative thoughts that I was mentioning come in. I'm a bother, I'm annoying, she hates the tower, she found one cheaper, it's too expensive, you know, all those things. Is if we don't keep following up, they will go somewhere else. And even another Juice Plus person could slip into your, you know, your funnel, because she might go to the farmer's market and see someone that is presenting with a tower. And she'll be like, oh, I remember someone was sharing it. I don't know who it is now because you lost touch. And she's like, I'll just order it from you. And when that happened to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't follow up. I wasn't a good friend. I didn't care enough. So I switch it in my brain. It's not a bother. And also think of it this way. So let's say you have this beautiful eye cream that you use and you love it and it's helped you and you're like 10 years younger because of this eye cream. And I see it and I message you and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this eye cream? I really want to get that. And you are selling this eye cream and you're like, oh, it's called so-and-so, I'll send you info. And you're like, I'm done. I've sent the info. She'll just go and order it. I'm not going to bother her. Guess what will happen? I'm squirrel. So think of me every time. I want the eye cream now. So you sent it to me. I will not watch it. I don't watch videos. I want to buy it now, not in a week, not in 5 weeks, not in 5 years. It's in my brain now. So then you send it to me and you don't say, I'll touch base with you on Monday, Ilona, have a good weekend. You just send it. And I'm like, ugh. All that video. No, I don't have time. I get up and I go do something else. But you never follow up with me ever because you're like, well, I already did my job. I sent it to her. She'll just call me. I won't call you. Like I won't. Somebody else will have the same product and I'll be like, girl, I need this thing. I reached out to this lady and she sent me her website, but I'm going to order it from you. Okay. Do you have your credit card ready? Yes, I do. I give it to my credit card and I've just ordered from somebody else because that's my personality. So I always think, you know, the follow-up is where I feel like you actually care about me. And your follow-up would be like, hey, Lona, I know I sent you over some info about that eye cream. Have you had a chance to look at it yet? And I'll be like, no, I haven't. I don't watch videos, if I'll just blunt with you. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me you don't watch videos? Do you actually care about learning about the product or do you just want to go ahead and start with it? And I would probably say, I'll just give you my credit card. Can we just order it? I'm really excited to try it. Right? And you would have walked away from that sale because all we did was all the negative thoughts of like, that might be really annoying if I touch base. What if she's not interested? What if it's too expensive? Right? So really just think of it as caring about that person because you care about my wrinkles, right? You were like, Ilona, I really cared about that eye cream. So just kind of.
Ilona, we have one more person. Barry
Awesome.
Bettman has a question.
Hi, Barry.
Not a question, it's a comment because you're 1,000% right on. I needed to get a service for my company about a year and a half ago. I got a hold of somebody as a referral. He had COVID, so I gave him a break. He never got hold of me. So here it is a year and change later. And now I really need this service before the end of the year.
Yeah.
I reached out to him and the sense I got was he didn't care. And I got hold of somebody else, better price, everything else. And they got on the phone and they said, can we do a intro call? And bottom line is I'm going with them. So, I mean, you're just saying what I experienced in a business transaction. It was about the follow-up. Just wanted to throw that back out. Perfect. Thank you.
I love that. Yeah. And I think people appreciate, and I have many times when my self-doubt kicks in to like, okay, I messaged like a week ago. Should I message again? That's so annoying. No, I shouldn't. Yes, I should. And then when I do, most of the time that person will say, thanks for touching base. Life just gets so busy. And I totally forgot to message you back. You know, and if you think the private messaging is still a little uncomfortable, then go on their Facebook page and like remind them that you're still there and comment and like, and, you know, say something on them on their page. And they might say, oh yeah, Ilona, I got to message her back because she's been messaging me about the tower. I should get back to her. So that's another way.
Okay, and we have one more question. I think this will be the last one from Crystal.
Yeah.
I have a question. It sounds like your presentation is for familiar people. Are these adjustments to strangers you meet?
With strangers, I do the same thing. because with strangers, I really want to get to know this person. And sometimes it's not all about Juice Plus. Have you looked at the products? Have you done this? Have you done that? It's, how are you? What do you do for work? I know we met at the event, last week, and you were interested in the towers. I sent you the info. I'll touch base with you Monday, but then the next follow-up could be about just getting to know that person. Hey, I never even asked you what you do for work. How long have you been there? Right? And when people trust you and they really, truly, I have this thing on my whiteboard. It says, how am I learning and growing today so I can serve others? So I wake up and that's what my passion is, to serve others, whether they buy a tower or not. I just want to educate them. I want to share with them that they have an option to grow their own food, for example. So, and people feel that because it's not pushy. I think if you do one and done, that's when it's pushy, where it's like, hey, I sent you my website, whatever. Here's my website, check it out. And that to me is salesy. It just is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have one thing to add that's important on all of that, though, is just because you're sending people information, don't assume they know you're in business to sell it to them.
Yes.
Because I have lost sales before. I've shared and helped them and sent them videos and asked if they've watched them, and then followed up, and the third or fourth follow up, they're like, yeah, I bought it from it was like Amazon or something.
No.
Yeah, and I just assumed they knew that I was a partner, and they, yeah. So you've got to let them know, hey, I can help you get that. Please.
Yeah.
Please get me.
Or like, because sometimes I also like sharing my personal experience about the towers, why I was intrigued. And that's when I would say, caught my attention a few years ago, 6 years ago, actually. And then I would say, and I decided to partner up with the company or become an affiliate so I can help others grow their own food. Here's some info for you to look over, and I'll touch base with you Monday. Right?
Ilona, I have a funny story that's like in person. I did a presentation at someone's home, a wine and wellness, and she invited all of her friends, and we did the presentation. And I don't know any of the people because they're her friends, and it was really fun. Everybody's having a great time. And I stood in the kitchen and I listened to her best friend tell the other person in the kitchen, I'm going to have to find who I buy this from because I really want to get started. She had no idea that the party that her friend at her home, that she was actually selling Juice Plus. Like, it never came up. So Leslie, that's really, it was in person at someone's home, and she said, I'm gonna have to call somebody to find out who sells this. Like, didn't think I did, didn't think the best friend did. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a
Yeah.
good reminder to share the business with everybody you talk about the product, because you never know.
You never know. And I always say you owe them to share it with them, because you never know what they're going through. Because in the beginning, I'm like, I'm not giving away my money for my tower garden sales. No way. Right. That's like $200 here in Canada, not happening. And then I go, wait a minute, give them the opportunity and they can say yes or no. But I always say, if you want to partner up, you will get a rebate back on your tower. And if you want to share with a few other people, I can teach you how to make some extra income and pay for your tower garden. And that usually gets them thinking, right? Like, who do I know? And you just give them all the same possibilities, same training, and we'll see who flies and who takes off with it.
Yes, absolutely. And I know one more question is going to come up. I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but verbiage, where would you recommend people getting the verbiage that you used?
Oh, I think I've copied and pasted it before into a document, so I can send that over. And I know I only use the verbiage for an invite to an event, but that's kind of, how our business is built, right? Inviting to events online, inviting to in-person events, inviting to coffee dates. So that's kind of why I use that. I can probably get that to you. I think I've copied and pasted it already into a sheet that.
And I believe it's on the hub, if I'm correct, that there is verbiage to help us do that. So.
And if you're not finding those, this video will not only be on the Heat YouTube, it will be on the Heat Team Facebook group. So you can always go back and even take a quick snapshot of each of those screens if you wanted to. They're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, awesome. Nice.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate your time. And
did that help you guys? I want like hands up if you think that follow-up is fun, you want to do it. Yes. So you're not stuck in the weird awkwardness, right? You want to get a yes, no, or you know what, Ilona, I'm not ready to invest in the tower right now. And then you say, no problem at all. Guess what you do? When should I follow back around with you?
Yeah,
and they'll say, in the spring. Awesome. And then you put them in your follow-up. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Merry, Merry Christmas.
Everybody want to unmute themselves and shout out a word of joy and a thank you to Ilona. That would be a great way to end our December.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you,
Ilona.
Great training. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Ilona. Very good.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.